Hey, it's Jay, and it's time for me to review probably one of the strangest films I've seen in a while, the Bananan Splits movie. So, for those of you who don't know what the Bananan Splits are, it was a TV show ran in the late 60s, early 70s about four animals, Fleagle, Bingo, Drooper, and Snorky, and they go on a bunch of wacky adventures. Someone had the bright idea to mix the Banana Splits with Five Nights at Freddy's and make these beloved characters killer robots. So that gives you an idea about how batshit crazy this is going to be. So let's get into the plot and see what direction this movie takes, because I gotta say, when it came on and I wanted to watch it, I had no idea what to expect. So let's get into the plot. So the film centers around a little boy named Harley Williams, played by Finley Hissong, and he is a huge fan of the Banana Splits. Really huge fan. His favorite being Snorky, the elephant. And his mom presents him with tickets for a live taping of the Banana Splits show for his birthday. But his asshole father, Mitch Williams, played by Steve Lund, takes credit for it, even though he wants nothing to do with this. He doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to do it. He wants to just focus on work. And I put air quotes around work because you'll find out a little bit later. Unfortunately, Harley doesn't have a lot of friends, and his one friend he does have gets sick and can't make it to his birthday party, so they invite another one of his classmates named Zoe. Harley's mom is played by Danny Kind. Them alongside Harley's older brother, Austin Williams, played by Romeo Carrere, head over to the studio to see Harley's favorite show, the Banana Splits. So the group meets up with a bunch of other characters, including Paige, one of the stagehands, and her assistant, a crazy fan-obsessed couple who love the Banana Splits and want to vlog the whole thing, but you can't have phones on the studio, so they're very upset about that. But they do sneak a cell phone inside. An aspiring young actress and her crazy obsessed father of getting her to that stardom, and just a bunch of other colorful characters. However, one of the studio executives, Rebecca, played by Sarah Canning, is, the person who's in charge of running the show, making sure everything goes smoothly, is informed by the regional vice president the new regional vice president, that he's going to cancel the show and, rip the robots apart, use them for parts to make another bigger show that's better, because he's not really feeling the Banana Splits, even though it seems to be a huge hit with kids. The news of this spreads to the robots, and after a man tinkers with their programming, kind of sends them off on a path of murder, because that's all they know. They only know doing this show. And they have a co-star named Stevie, who isn't everybody's favorite. It's literally said in the movie, no one really likes Stevie. He's just kind of there for comic relief and pratfalls and slapstick. And he gets drunk during the show that Harley goes to see, because he's just tired of the humiliation and tired of the lack of notoriety he gets for being on the show, even though he's just as important as the robots. And he flaunts in the robots' face that he never has to work with them again, and he's hated working with them since he started. And Drooper, who seems to be the first one to kind of snap in terms of his programming, just jams a lollipop down Stevie's throat, thus killing him. So they also kidnap the vice president, because he's just talking to his boss about how he's so excited to just shut down this show and rip the robots apart and make a huge profit on their parts and everything like that. And this causes them to kidnap him, and we'll find out what happens to him a little later on. But it can't be good, seeing as what just happened to Stevie. So during the filming of the show, it is told to the audience to look at their tickets, and if they have a star on the back of it, they can actually meet the Banana Splits. Unfortunately, Harley doesn't have a star, and he's very upset about this, seeing as he loves these characters so much. But Austin, who cares a lot about his little brother, finds Paige, and he and her have kind of like a love interest, like they kind of have a thing going on. But of course, it's that movie trope of, I'm not interested in you, go away, but she's totally interested in him. But he's able to convince her to let them stay because it's his birthday and he's a huge fan of the show. So during the audience meet and greet, they all start to get separated. People storming off, sneaking off when people aren't paying attention. So now everyone's loose in the studio. The two obsessed fans are running around trying to find set pieces from the Banana Splits to vlog on Instagram. I'm assuming it's on like an Instagram knockoff. The star crazy father and daughter are off to find a producer to try to get her famous, and Austin and Beth, who is Harley's mother, find out that Mitch has been cheating on her, and a huge altercation happens outside, and they storm inside, obviously very pissed off. Mitch, who you will hate Mitch, you will hope to God he dies the second he's on screen, then calls up the person he's having an affair with to tell her that his his day just cleared up, but Snorky, God love him, just comes and starts chasing him in the banana buggy and runs him over. But it's unclear if he actually dies from that. But Beth and Austin go back into the studio, and everyone's missing. Everyone's gone. We then cut to the crazy fans who are still Instagram living, and he gets down on one knee and proposes to his love. And it all seems to be going great. Flegel comes in, and everyone's like, "Oh, awesome! It's Flegel. I can tell them all about our marriage proposal." But then Flegel puts him in one of those magician tables where like they pretend like they're sawing somebody in half. Only Flegel actually saws this dude in half, thus traumatizing the girl. And that trauma does come a little later on because she's pretty much lost it at this point because she just got proposed to, and now he's dead. So it takes a huge hit on her. Harley and Zoe do come in to try to find Snorky, but they do see Flegel, who then leads them to a workshop where the little girl of the father who's obsessed with making her famous is also locked in the workshop. The father is brutally maimed when Drooper takes a can of air, kind of like a Lysol spray, and takes a match and just flamethrowers his face, and like sadistically is dancing while this dude's head is just Ghost Rider right now and just on fire. So she escapes, but then is taken to the workshop where Harley and Zoe do meet her there too. So Beth, Austin, Paige, and Rebecca all learn about how crazy and murderous the Banana Splits are after finding a very maimed Jonathan, who is the father of the girl who he's trying to get famous. And they go off to try to find what's going on. They split up, but Austin and Beth stay together. Austin is seemingly kidnapped by Bingo, but Beth goes full on mother mode and just throws Bingo off of one of the scaffoldings up in the ceiling, and he falls and is beyond repair. Drooper then takes Bingo to the workshop dude named Carl to fix him up. But Carl is also trying to justify the Banana Splits' actions by saying this is all they know. They only know this show, and the fact that she's getting taken away from them has caused them to get very hostile. But he's also having a moral conflict on whether or not he should release the kids. And the kids then trick him into opening the cage, and they lock him inside the cage. While Jonathan and Rebecca are off on their own, they are forced to run the obstacle course that is run on the show. Because they're filming it. The Banana Splits are filming everything that's happening because it's their show. They want to continue. Jonathan is stabbed in the back, and his back is opened up, and Rebecca gets her face bashed in by a mallet. So they are both now, dead. And so the Banana Splits aren't letting up on how gruesome their carnage is. So Harley, Zoe, and Parker, who is the star girl, are trying to find a way out, and they come across Snorky. Harley then uses his love for Snorky to kind of reset his programming back to just Snorky, not murderous Snorky. And so now Snorky is part of the Alliance, and they're going to go try to find Beth, Austin, and Paige. They hear noises in the workshop where, Carl is still locked up. And on top of the crazy fangirl who is now she's gone. She's so far gone. They hear noises coming from one of the vents. And they go into the vent, and the crazy girl finds a mask of an unused banana split named Hootie and uses that mask to kill Carl as revenge for killing her new fiance. They go down into this, they follow the noise, and it's revealed that the audience members who didn't have VIP access to meet the Banana Splits all got murdered, as well as the other stagehand next to Paige. But the kids are all missing. None of them are there. It's revealed that the Banana Splits kind of kidnapped the children and held them hostage on stage so that they can constantly perform their show. Because, like I said, that's all they know. Just doing their show, performing their show. And they're doing horrible things like burning Stevie's corpse, ripping off the vice president's limbs, all in front of these children, making them watch because making them continue to have the show aired. Harley is set down next to the kids by Snorky, but it's only revealed that it's a trick just to make Snorky look like he's still blending in with the Banana Splits, and gives him a key. They're able to release all the kids, and Beth goes in to fight off Drooper and Fleagle because Bingo is still in the shop. It almost ends in her death. Almost gets her incinerated, just like Stevie. But she's able to fight back and able to kill both Fleagle and Drooper. So now the race is on to get out of there before anything else happens. And just when they think everyone's out and in the clear, Bingo comes out of nowhere, now seemingly fixed. And he and Droopy have a huge fight. Not Droopy. He and Snorky have a huge fight in the hall. And it ends up with both of them getting axed, including Snorky, who has helped us out the entire time. Very sad. And they leave, and everything seems fine. Beth files for divorce against Mitch after punching him in the face in the best scene ever. And everyone leaves Mitch to be miserable because he's got a broken leg and everything after being run over by Snorky. And to end the film, crazy fangirl runs him over with the bodies of Snorky and Bingo in her cart and run him over and completely mutilate his body. And you see a light come on in Bingo's eyes, indicating that they're still active, but what is Crazy Owl Girl going to do with them? And that's the Banana Splits. It ends with that theme song. If you've seen the show, you all know and love. And that's the Banana Splits. What the hell is this movie? Like, seriously, what is this movie? This movie is so bad. But I want to say this. It is in the vein of my favorite type of horror movie. The so bad it's good horror movie. I had a blast watching this. I was laughing the whole time. Just like everything about this is just so hilarious because it's the Banana Splits. If you've seen episodes of Banana Splits like I have, you would know it just adds to the insanity of what these robots are doing and how they're acting while they're doing it. Seeing Mitch get laid out by Snorky driving the banana buggy, I couldn't stop laughing. That was so over the top and hilarious. It fit this movie's tone perfectly. And Drooper just like, yeah, when Jonathan's head is being, burned alive. It's so over the top, but so Banana Splits. So they kept the personality of the Banana Splits while they're doing these heinous acts. And it's just so over the top. And of course the effects in all these really bad, low budget horror movies are always a treat. They're always so gory and over the top and just like way too over the top, I should say. And again, I love it. That's why I love horror movies that are so bad they're good. This movie is by no means a good film, from an objective standpoint. It's got, pretty hokey acting, a plot that doesn't really make much sense. It doesn't really make much sense as to why they start going on their murderous rampage in the first place. I know it's explained that it's because the show's getting canceled, but they're robots. How do they know that their show's being canceled, That's a little vague, but I think just the idea of, Fleagle, Bingo, Drooper, and Snork all just killing people in the most gruesome and violent ways, whether it be cutting their heads off, ripping their limbs off, burning their skulls, shoving a lollipop down their throat, incinerating them, like just horrific acts like that. It's just great juxtaposition with such innocent looking characters and then such horrific acts of violence that just adds to it. I do love how Owl Girl, I'm just going to call her, is absolutely insane by the end of it. And it is a decent cliffhanger. I don't know if they're going to do a Banana Splits 2, but they definitely tease that that's a possibility. So if it is, I'm going to watch it. If it's as hokey and cheesy as this one, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to be doing something different with my final verdicts on this film. I'm going to be giving it an objective stars and then for my personal enjoyment, because with these cheesy horror movies, the so bad they're good horror movies, I don't think it's fair to give it an amount of stars for how the movie is itself and then not take my personal enjoyment into it, because if I did that, I feel like I'd give it too high of a score than it deserves. So with my objective stars, I'm giving this film like a 2 out of 5. It's not very good, but for my personal enjoyment with how bad it's good it is, definitely an easy like 4 out of 5 for just my personal enjoyment. I was laughing the whole time, just enjoying every minute of this preposterous film that worked so well. Even though it wasn't the best, it still worked amazingly. And that's all I have to say about Banana Splits. Make sure you guys stay tuned, not next Sunday, but on October 31st for a top 5 list. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but a top 5 list on Halloween Day, October 31st, which I believe is a Thursday. So Thursday, October 31st, make sure you guys stay tuned for my next video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, click that bell icon if you want to get notified for when I upload that Halloween special. And until next time, guys, that's a wrap. But seriously, watch the Banana Splits. It's amazing.